Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Thanksgiving is around the corner and I'm really excited to show you how I made these cakes that look like pumpkin, apple, and pecan pie. They are really fun to make and they will definitely give a fun twist to your Thanksgiving table. Let's start with the pumpkin pie cake. For that, you're going to need 2 9-inch pumpkin bread cakes, pie crust color fondant. I achieved this color by mixing a little bit of brown and ivory food coloring into white fondant, 2 cups of Italian meringue buttercream, 4 egg yolks, 2 1/4 cups of milk, 1/4 cup of cornstarch, 1/4 cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and orange and brown food coloring. Start by leveling the 2 cakes just a little bit so they are more even. Pipe a layer of buttercream to put the 2 cakes together. Next, I used a plate, but you can use anything that you have around that is about 1 inch smaller than the cake to use as a template. You're gonna use this to cut the cake in an angle to start shaping the tin. The idea is that the cake ends up smaller on the top, which then will become the bottom of the pie tin. Give the whole cake a crumb coat and refrigerate it for 30 minutes or until the buttercream sets. In the meantime, start working on the custard, which will be the pie filling. Mix the egg yolks, milk, sugar, cornstarch, and vanilla extract in a small saucepan and let it come to a boil. When it thickens, remove it from the heat and mix in a little bit of orange and brown food coloring to achieve the pumpkin pie filling color. Then let it cool completely. Now let's go back to the cake. Cover the cake one more time with another layer of buttercream and refrigerate it for 30 more minutes. When the buttercream is set, roll out the fondant and cover the cake. Use a little ball of fondant to rub all over the cake to smooth out any lumps. Remove the excess fondant, then use a veining tool to recreate the lines that are all around the sides of the tin. To finish the pie tin, I used silver color mist spray to spray the sides of the cake. You don't need to worry about the top because that will eventually become the bottom and no one will be able to see it. Give it 2 to 3 coats, refrigerated in between coats. flip the cake on a cake board and set it aside to dry. In the meantime, take 2 pieces of fondant and roll it into tubes. Then use your index fingers to pinch the fondant to look like the crimped edges of a pie. When the custard is cooled, spread it on top of the cake, then place the 2 pieces of crimped edges around. Lastly, use a little bit of piping gel and ivory food coloring to brush all around the crimped edges of the pie to give it a little bit of color and the appearance it's been baked. Next, we're going to make the apple pie. And for that, you're going to need 2 9-inch vanilla cakes, pie crust color fondant, 6 small apples peeled and sliced, 2 tablespoons of butter, 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, and 2 cups of Italian meringue buttercream. In a pan, melt together the butter, sugar, and cinnamon. Then add the apples and cook them for about 5 minutes until they're soft. Then you can remove them from the heat and let them cool completely. In the meantime, make the pie tin part of the cake and the crimped edges the same way as you did with the pumpkin pie. Top the cake with the apples, then place the crimped edges all around. Roll out a thin layer of fondant to cut out stripes to recreate the lattice on top of the pie. Finish the cake by brushing the top with the same piping gel and ivory food coloring mixture. Lastly, we're going to make the pecan pie. For that, you will need 2 9-inch chocolate cakes, pie crust color fondant, 2 cups of Italian meringue buttercream, 1/2 cup of pecan halves, 1 cup of brown sugar, 1 1/4 cups of water, 3 tablespoons of butter, 2 egg yolks, and 1/4 cup of cornstarch. In a small saucepan, whisk together the brown sugar, water, cornstarch, and egg yolks. Mix it all together and let it cook until it thickens. Lastly, mix in the butter and set it aside until it cools completely. In the meantime, prepare the cake just like the other two. When the pecan pie filling is cooled, spread it all over the top of the cake, then assemble the pecans. place the pinched crust edges on the cake and brush them with the piping gel and ivory food coloring mixture. To finish all 3 of the cakes, I used clear piping gel to brush all around the pie tin part of the cake so it could give it a little bit of shine to resemble aluminum. So this is how all my cakes turned out. I had so much fun making them, and I hope you try to make them for a Thanksgiving party or any other occasion. As always, thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much and see you in the next video.